What is up here today, YouTube? Jigsaw0097, and they made it to the dance, guys. The Eagles have made it to the 2019 playoffs. And if you would have asked me of them doing this 5 or 6 weeks ago, I would have said, heck no. There's no way the Eagles are going to the playoffs. But boy, was I wrong. Carson Wentz proved yet again that he can clutch a win. You know, it was 17-17 at one point in this Giants game. And Carson Wentz took it into his hands and he ended it. I believe it was 34-17 was the final score. He took it into his hands. You know, and keep in mind, Miles Sanders went down in this game. Brandon Brooks went down in this game. I think Brandon Brooks might be out for the season, unfortunately. He might be out for the playoff run or the playoff game. I don't know how much. I'll get into that in just a second because I wanted to wait to make this video until after the 49ers Seahawks game was decided so that I would know exactly who the Philadelphia Eagles would be facing. And it's looking like it's going to be next Sunday against the Seahawks, but I'll get into that in just a second. Brandon Brooks might be gone for the playoff push because they had to cart him out. It happened last year against the Saints, you guys remember. He had the torn Achilles, so it's unfortunate that this guy can't stick around for the playoffs, especially since he's one of my favorite Eagles these days. But Miles Sanders also went down. I don't really know the severity of that. I think he'll be good. I think players are going to come back. You know, Deshaun Jackson might come back. They're saying that he might not come back unless there's like a divisional round, but I'm thinking he could come back for the wild card. So we'll just have to see how it goes now. But the bottom line, I think Greg Ward also went down. The bottom line here is that Carson Wentz and this Philadelphia Eagles team has really embraced this next man up mentality yet again. They did this a lot in 2017, and it's why they won the Super Bowl. And honestly, I'm really happy to see this out of Wentz. You know, I wanted Wentz to be this guy, and I wasn't seeing it for so long. And then as soon as these guys go down, it's starting to make me think that Wentz was never the problem. So anyone that called that out, you know, you're right. I was wrong. I thought Wentz was the problem, but it appears that the surrounding cast was more of a problem. And I'm really excited to see what Wentz can do in his first playoff game, really. He's never been in this situation. It's going to be very fun. It's against the Seahawks, too, which I said before that I wanted it to be the Seahawks because the Eagles played the Seahawks early in the season, and we almost beat them, guys. That was a very close win. I think 9-17 was the score on that one. And that was also when our team really didn't have an identity. They have an identity now. They really do. Their backs are against the wall. And the Seahawks are without Chris Carson. They've got Marshawn Lynch, which he looked pretty good today, but you know, the 49ers they're a pretty legit team. So I kind of figured that it was going to be the Seahawks, but it's official now, and I think the Eagles have a super good shot to win this game. I will obviously make my preview video later in the week, probably in a couple days. I'll make this one pretty early because this isn't just the standard fare now, guys. The Eagles made it to the dance. They got into the dance with the hot girl, and now they got to see if they can score. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, very proud of this Eagles team. I'm very happy that they were able to get in. And, you know, seeing Dallas not get in, too. It's a bonus. Even if you're not an Eagles fan, I think most people can agree with that. Dallas not getting in. The rest of the league wins. Also in funnier news, the Dolphins beat the Patriots, which screwed them out of their first round bye. So, like, for the first time in, like, 10 years, the Patriots have to play all 3 playoff games if they do go to the Super Bowl, which I don't think they will. I think the Ravens, in my opinion, the Ravens are probably going to win the Super Bowl this year, period. Like, I don't care who faces them, but that's just my opinion, and we'll have to see how that goes down. But regardless, the Eagles are in the dance, guys. I'm so happy. I'm so glad to see that this team can go to the playoffs and see what they can do. And it's a home game, like, so much better. Last year we had to go to New Orleans, you know, and we almost beat the Saints. Or, no, we had to go to Chicago. Sorry, we went to Chicago and we beat the Bears on the double doink, but, like, we didn't get a home game. Like, 2017, I remember that playoff atmosphere. It was amazing. You know, beating the Falcons, beating the Vikings, and then going straight to the Super Bowl. That was great. And it'll be fun to replicate that. So we'll enjoy the one playoff home game that we get. If we win this game, you know, we go to wherever else that is. But I don't know. I'm just excited, guys. I'm excited. So I really don't have a lot to say. You know, congrats to the Eagles. You know, the Giants, they were just in the way. You know, they made it interesting, but ultimately, you know, I knew the Eagles were going to win this game. I had a very good feeling going in. You know, there was always the possibility of a trap game and it being a battle, and it was up to one point. But the Eagles, you know, they took off. They eventually took off. They got things going. You know, Josh Perkins, I see you. Like, where the hell did you come from? Boston Scott? These guys are stepping up, you know. We don't need Miles Sanders. We don't need Alshon Jeffrey. We just really don't need any particular guy because it's the next man up mentality. Really, we need all of them. But if one guy goes down, the next guy, his name is called, and he comes out and he performs. So anyway, guys, that's really the video. Just a really quick one here for you, but I'd like to hear your opinions on the Eagles going into the playoffs, what you think about their chances, about playing the Seahawks. Like I said, I'm very excited that it is going to be the Seahawks. I've seen some other Eagles fans on Facebook not as excited about this, but they wanted it to be the Vikings. But honestly, I would much rather play the Seahawks. The Vikings blew us out this year, whereas the Seahawks, it was a lot tighter of a game. And the Eagles really, they need to end this curse against Seattle. What better way to do it than in the playoffs? They need to beat Seattle and exorcise this demon. I can't even do the math anymore. I think it's like 4 or 5 times now we've lost to the Seahawks in a row. So they really need to beat them. And, you know, we've already made the Vikings our bitch. We did that when we went to the Super Bowl and won the Super Bowl in their stadium. Now it's time to exorcise the demon of the Seattle Seahawks. So, just want to see what happens. But anyway, guys, like I said again, comment down below. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also, if you are a returning viewer, make sure you are actually subscribed as well, as I will be covering the Philadelphia Eagles and the NFL all playoffs long. Well, you know, I'll be covering the Eagles throughout the playoffs, obviously, but I'll be covering the NFL up to the Super Bowl and just kind of giving my thoughts on that. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. This has been Jigsaw0097. I will talk to you all later.